Hey, what's going on, guys? It's James Kennedy.
I'm Sheena.
I'm Ariana.
And I'm Katie.
It's Tom Schwartz.
I'm Tom Sandoval.
I'm Lala Kent, and I am watching some iconic,
Cringy,
memorable moments
of Vanderpump Rules from over the years.
We're gonna give you some behind the scenes
secrets.
Let's get into it.
Sandoval stays at a f***ing Labor Day party with Raquel while Ariana just found out that her grandmother died. And Raquel spends the night at Sandoval's house while Ariana is out of town. This leads me to only one logical conclusion. I think Sandoval has a thing for Raquel. I learned that 2 + 2 equals he's probably someone else, and he was.
God, this fuels me up. This still gets me going. I'm sorry, like, god damn. By the way, Tom Sandoval was on his way to meet me at the smoking lounge on Melrose right now. That's where he's dropping off Schwartz. He's coming to meet me. And look at the smirk on his face. He can't wait to lie to his best friend. God, what a POS.
This past year has just been so different than previous years. It's been a roller coaster ride.
I had spidey senses season 10. I was a wounded woman and I was looking to hold all these straight men accountable. I felt like I had a superpower. I don't know that I have it anymore because I got soft, but this is great to watch. I'm like, damn, I was a badass.
Tom and Ariana had businesses together. They had been together 10 years. The duration, like I've cheated, but I've never had an affair before, but like 6 months is like egregious.
I had no idea. I literally, he was an hour and 35 minutes late to my meeting, right? And then I sit down, hey, Tom, it's been a while, brother. Like, I miss you. I was being so genuine and such an idiot. Like, I was like, bro, I miss you so much. Like, where have you been? We don't even kick it anymore. You don't invite me to your house parties anymore or anything like that. Yeah, well, it's because I'm banging your ex secretly. But like, I had no idea. You were happy with Ariana. I thought Tom and Ariana were the happiest couple on the planet. I know, you can roll your eyes, but that's the facts.
I think if it would have been with a random girl, I think it would have blown over really fast. But the fact that it was under the same roof with a mutual, very close friend in the duration.
Honestly, I'm an idiot because I would have been fooled if Ariana didn't pick up that phone that night and saw that video.
If we're really gonna talk about my life and where I'm at with people, Raquel being one of them, she made a huge mistake. At some point, like, we have to forgive her. The audience wanted to see the Lala that season 10 had, and it just was not gonna happen.
It's been, I feel like people are calling it some sort of like redemption thing for me or whatever, but it's not. I feel like it's just rehumanizing me.
Wow. Dude, stop acting like you're the #1 guy in this group, man. I'm the #1 guy in this group.
Are you f***ing kidding me, Jax? F*** you, man.
I remember Jax being sweatier.
Sheena's apartment was pretty typically warm.
And aggressive. He was very aggro that night. Highly intoxicated.
I think that was also when we were doing the Vanderpump wine, so that's why Schwartz is drinking rosé straight from the bottle. I'm sure Jax regrets that one.
Okay, in this moment in time, in all fairness, he might have been the #1 guy in the group.
I definitely think in his mind, he believed he was the #1 guy in the group back then.
He's still, almost a decade later, saying the same thing because he actually thinks it's true. It's not.
I think Jax Taylor is still the #1 guy in the group. And who even knows if that's a compliment?
People obviously now calling me the #1 guy in the group has some irony to it because I wasn't even there for this. Because I wasn't invited, because Jax was so intense about being the #1 guy in the group.
How are you guys up here? We got upgraded. Oh. They just gave us a new ticket and said, here you go.
Bullshit shivers down my spine, man. Katie was like genuinely pissed, but like I got so much shit for that. I just was checking in and they said, "Oh, sir, you've been upgraded." When Katie went back there, she got really mad. I was like, "You can have this. I don't care about first class unless you get lay down seats and it's JetBlue Mint." Now we're okay. I will fight for my life for those seats.
You don't need to fly first class. So when I was just like, hey, oh, look at you. Why straight me? Because you tell me that it doesn't matter where you sit. Right, so now all of a sudden. Straight me.
Yeah.
Why don't you?
And I texted her. I was like, Katie, you can have the seat. But she went off. And at that point, she's like, no, I don't want it. And she decided just to be pissed the rest of the vacation. And I was like, can you let it go? I mean, she was seething. These were the rage text heydays. The Rage Text glory days, I'm talking like this. And that bubble, man, it would not stop. It's terrifying when you're on the receiving end and the bubble is just going for like an hour and a half. They're getting longer and longer and longer, and they're so specific and mean.
My go-to rage text with Tom would always be like, sure, Tom, okay, Tom. It was something always very like passive aggressive, short. They weren't even rage. They were just like something like really like cutting, like short, like just something where he just knew that there was something seething underneath it.
The rage texts were scary, but yeah, I kind of miss them a little bit.
He doesn't miss them. That is such a lie.
I loved that trip. That was Hawaii. I was just in Hawaii. This new girl I'm hanging out with. It was lovely. Went to Oahu. Her name's Sophia. She's a gangster. Sophia, if you see this, don't be scared.
I told you that I ate Raquel's pasta, and that's how you come for me?
It was
what
like
the is wrong with you?
It was a dig.
What the is wrong with you?
Dig.
I told you I had a bite of her pasta, and then the whole thing was devoured, and that's what you go off on.
Why is it about the damn pasta? Get over the damn pasta. Read between the lines. It ain't about the pasta. It's not about the pasta. I remember everything, but I also remember the triple shot of bourbon that I took right before that conversation.
James does this thing a few times in the show where he says something and then he kind of like leaves for a second, but then he comes back. And when he does that right there, it's so funny to me.
I remember my girlfriend at the time was starving. The pasta was served. She got up to go to the bathroom. Lala sits down and ate the pasta, okay? When I said something about it that day, no one cared. It wasn't a big deal at all. But then 2 weeks later, I'm sitting at lunch with Lala, and you know, I've already got problems with Lala because of Randall.
I'm thrilled that he said that I fat man to pay my rent. You know, like it all just like came together.
This was just really tough for me. Then Lala brings up the pasta, right? Because no one was meant to even think twice about it. Who could remember the pasta? But Lala did, and that just showed me there was ulterior motives behind it, right?
I do understand why he was so upset. Like now when you read between the effing lines, you see that he thought that was my way of like bullying his chick, when really that's just what happens when the whole group is on 6 edibles smoking blunts, okay? Like, oh, we don't care whose food we're eating. I would have eaten table 6's food.
I think because he says the thing about read between the lines, about them thinking like, oh, so is it not about the pasta? It's always about the pasta.
Well, the funny thing was, it was actually about the pasta.
It was really just talking about pasta getting eaten.
Was it the angel hair checka, I think?
No, someone said it was about the penne pasta. And then someone said about Joe's pasta. It was one of the pastas.
One of the pastas.
The pastas were always the best.
People have brought bags of pasta to my shows. I've got pasta sauce. You know, I don't know what people expect me to do with it, but I can't be swinging my pasta tomato sauce around the nightclub.
Just do it, just do it.
What?
You got a tattoo.
Well, oh, come on, I don't want to see this.
Yeah.
Oh my.
Still inflamed.
Yeah. Let's look at Tom's.
Dude,
I'm kind of adorable.
Mine's really bad.
Tom's is so bad. Lisa's is so gorgeous.
The worst tattoo I've
We're
ever
all
seen.
kind of good looking. We got those tattoos around 6 in the morning. It felt like some sort of divine intervention. And in that moment, I was like, we need ass tattoos.
I Googled cool letter A.
And that was literally the first. Should we see if it still is the first thing that pops up? Let's go. Cool letter A. Okay, it's the fourth one. It's the fourth image.
I just wanted the font. I didn't really want the flames on there. But Ariana hated it. I had the worst anxiety about it afterwards because it's like the person that got it for hated it anyways. At least it was a funny story. But yeah, I did one tattoo removal session. But I think I am going to get it removed now.
Sheena and I have something to tell you guys.
We got engaged a few days ago.
Huh? Oh, Schwartz.
What the is going on?
Oh my God, this is so much worse than I remember it being.
I mean, it was a conversation I didn't want to have, but this was also said not in front of James and Raquel. I think I was expecting a little more excitement.
Congratulations, Brooke and Sheena.
Then I watch it back and I just see looks of disgust and annoyance and all of these weird side eyes coming from everyone else. And I'm like, oh.
I knew it wasn't going to go over well.
Remember kind of like the energy being sucked out of the room.
Like I felt for her, but I was also like, ugh.
I take full responsibility that I was like, if I were you, I would just do it sooner rather than later.
That's what she does.
and we just watched it happen.
I was so mad at every single person at this. Wasn't the best timing, right? And friends don't do that to one another.
I don't think Sheena's always trying to steal other people's thunder. I think she is just misunderstood often.
I do think I'm misunderstood. You know, and if people don't make moments about themselves, it's gonna be a really boring show we're watching, so you're welcome.
Sick and tired of him just getting belittled and told what he needs to do all the time. Leave him the alone. He's a battered wife. Look at him.
I know I've seen it so many times and it doesn't really get old. I just have like this eating grin. And why didn't I lock the door? He must have really put some oomph in that kick.
They had lights. Obviously, they light all of our hotel rooms, and they need a power source, and that power source was in the bathroom. So you couldn't close the bathroom door all the way. So that's why I was able to kick it open, because normally he would have had that thing locked, obviously. I thought Schwartz was in the bathroom, like, crying or something, but he was actually going to the bathroom.
And I wanted to take a breather away from the cameras and just sit there and like stare at my phone and just sort of like recalibrate and maybe sober up a little bit.
I think he just, this look, he's like, dude, really, man? So dramatic.
By far the drunkest I've ever been in the history of Vanderpump Rules. I didn't stop drinking that whole entire trip. Somewhere out there's the picture of me passed out, holding a Four Loko with penises all over my face.
Sheena is singing her song. Like, this could not get any worse.
I was Sheena's best hype girl on that day.
Yeah, Stassi wasn't even feeling herself.
It wasn't great. It wasn't great, but it's okay because Sheesh will tell you, I know that I can't sing, but I like performing, so here it is. Shove it.
I actually really like that song, but I understand like over and over and over again all day in the heat.
Yeah.
With it, I understand.
One performance and making a moment about myself on a day like Gay Pride, totally. Make me the center of attention, put me up on stage. I love doing that. That's why I've done it on the bar at Sir so many times. But the fact that it was bothering Stassi and the other girls so much in that moment when they were such bitches to me back then, I just ate all of that up.
You know, that was like baby Sheena, big dreams, and I'm so proud of her.
She doesn't ever perform that song anymore. She always just does good as gold.
Gay Pride and these Pride days were the most fun days at Sir. I mean, it was the day all of us would have to work, right? And Lisa would also let us drink as well, right? So it was just like the most fun.
There's nothing better than that song that she did where she had Brett, season, I think it was 9, like smacking her ass. You can't find it. She had it removed from YouTube, and I'm devastated by it. But he's like got her hair, like their reins. She's like, it's what I like. It's what I like. I'm like, damn, like a softcore porn.
You two talking to each other?
No.
Why not?
Ask her. I mean, I'm not really sure what I've done to you, but I'll take a Pinot Grigio.
Sheena's reaction really drives that moment home for me. You know what I mean? She's like,
what Stassi says is like, I'm like, dang, girl, you came up with that just on the spot.
She was
kudos.
So quick-witted, like goals.
She was the first person to quit Sir, I think, out of all of us. So I know she really enjoyed kind of coming back in and sort of like having people wait on her.
I did not get her the Pinot Grigio. I got it for Lisa. I remember I came back, gave it to Lisa. She then gave it to Stassi. And I don't know if I ever brought a second glass.
I have a coaster that I got on Etsy that says, I don't know what I've done to you, but I'll take a Pinot Grigio. It's all glittery and stuff. I love it.
This is like back then when I actually resonated with Sheena a lot because we were both outcasts in the groups. We kind of knew how it felt to a little bit bullied by like the leaders, right? The Jaxes, the Stassies of the groups at the time. Like, wow, how the tables have turned. Am I right?
It's funny, Stassi just always had it out for Sheena. I remember one iconic line. She was like talking about Sheena's makeup and she's like, it looks like a butterfly landed on her eyes and took a I always liked Sheena's makeup.
It is truly iconic, and I think even Sheena would be like, I took the L with that.
Looking back on it, obviously iconic. I mean, it's probably one of the best lines that ever came out of Stassi's mouth. I can't even hate on it anymore because it was so clever. I think it would be great for Stassi to come back to the show. I don't know that she ever would, but I would absolutely welcome her back with open arms and a Pinot Grigio.
Emo night. This is newer, but my favorite.
I feel like we need more of nights like this in this group because music really does bring everyone together.
You know, Lala was really trying her best. I think the key for emo hair is a big bang. A lot of dry shampoo, but I think she kind of nailed it.
I did love Lala's effort, definitely an A for effort because she had the bangs going, she had the all black. I loved how she just went all out.
I think the Good as Gold emo version, Screamo version with the 27s, I really like it.
I like it too.
I love when they're like, there's speed,
Dreams have come true for me this year in my DJ career, and if I could tell this kid that, it would make things a lot easier for him maybe. But then maybe he wouldn't have done it, right?
I'm just happy that I got to a place where I'm like, there's gonna be good, bad, and ugly, and I wanna show it all. And I've stayed sober on this show, and that's like a pretty huge deal.
Being on the show for the past 12 years, there's been the ups, the downs, exciting things, very sad times. Some of the things that makes our show so captivating and interesting is how raw and real and honest it is. So in that sense, I'm very proud of the show. Again, it can be a bit of a dumpster fire at times. Sir Dumpster Fire.
As long as you don't let the haters and the trolls actually get to you and you just live your life, you're still gonna be happy.
The one thing I'm proud of is always like being very just authentically myself, regardless of it looks good or people agree with it.
I just miss our old dynamic. We were like one up, pretty happy group, even though we were like cheating on each other and we did some we were quick to forgive. It got a little heavy these past 2 years.
Some of these things might be cringe, but it's how we felt in the moment, and to be cringe is to be free.
That's so prolific. Write that down.
I saw it on the internet. I can't take credit.